Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's Big Cheds. Thank you for being here, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I'm coming to you live on a Friday. It's January 17th, 2024. I just started a stream before, and there was no audio, so apologize for that. That's what you get when it's just a one-man show. I'm just here by myself, but sorry about that, folks, and hopefully the audio works now. This is part of the Quick Market Update series on my YouTube channel. I teach professional technical analysis, Japanese candlestick theory, and classical charting. Most of what I do is free. You can get it here on my various channels, but I would definitely recommend you start out with the Masterclass Technical Analysis tutorial playlist. And kind of work your way from there. The Trading Wisdom playlist is great as well. It's the first third of my book, Trading Wisdom. I'm published 3 books, and I have a 4th book along the way shortly, Trading Journal. So hopefully you folks will check that out. Most of what I do is free, and most of you know me from Twitter, where I'm at Big Cheds. And of course, at Bitcoin Live, where I do a twice a week full market analysis with the best team in the world that studies crypto. I'm really proud of our team. Every Wednesday and Sunday night, I do a full market report. For more than 6 years, I haven't missed one. So I would definitely encourage you folks to go ahead and check that out. We're over 103K right now. What a beautiful move in Bitcoin. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. As always, I have a bunch of tweets lined up to kind of walk us through what has happened since the last report, how we got here, and to kind of come up with a game plan going forward. So while you're here, leave me a comment, leave me a chat message. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, how you found the channel, and perhaps most importantly, maybe a question. Try to think of like a trading question that other people might be wondering as well, and we can use that to create some educational content, which is what I want to do here. I want to create valuable educational content. So thank you for being here. So we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and I'll do a quick run through on Ethereum. So why don't I do Bitcoin first, and then we'll do Ethereum. So just to reset the table, it's a beautiful weekly trend. I've talked a lot about interpreting price moves with the trend, right, which is the simple SMA 200 or the rising MA 200. And we see here the price move out of the consolidation and consolidating near the peak of the range and mostly holding price gains. And we've talked a lot about the different weekly candles as we've been consolidating, the quote-unquote hanging man, which is actually bullish continuation, this outside bar in the sideways environment. And I've really just been saying what we want to focus on is daily range lows and well-defined price lows within the consolidation channel. And so there we have it. So let's clean things up, and we're going to go through the kind of the progression of price since our last update. And a lot of people have been talking about, is it head and shoulders? And I've done quite a few videos here on YouTube about, is it a head and shoulders? Does it matter if we call it a head and shoulders? How to mark it up? How to play it? And so if you missed that, I would go back and watch the last couple weeks of videos. I spent a lot of time discussing that. The TLDR, the long and the short, is no, it doesn't matter. You don't have to call it anything. You don't have to name price to identify the most important level and do really well and trade really well. And we'll walk through that right now. So let's walk through what's happened since our last videos. We had all these nice throwbacks and price responses to the neck baseline or the daily range lows, and we had the right shoulder invalidate, and we had a bull fake out here. So we had the bull fake out, and price just pushed back towards daily range lows. Little decent weak bounce, EMA 8 underside, and then boom. Okay, so that set the story. Leading into the first tweet and our last update. Right, and look at this beautiful candle, this long leg doji. High wave doji. Let's get into that. So, of course, Big Cheds on Twitter, you've seen that. So here we are, Bitcoin, lowest price since mid-November, right? Time to freak out? Is it time to panic? I mean, that's nasty. This is a nasty tweet. This is a tweet I'm putting out. I'm letting you know. People often ask me, like, why do you tweet stuff? Well, look, I know. I watch the chart all day, so you don't have to. I mean, you know the deal, folks, right? I'm alerting you that the price is at a key level, like something's going on. So lowest price since mid-November. That's nasty. When you see this, you want to start to risk off. You want to start to be careful because that level is breaking down. But you also want to be aware of an intraday reversal. Okay, you want what's called a spring, right? It's a very simple concept. And again, I talk about this in the Masterclass playlist. You have a support level that holds, you lose it, and you quickly recapture it, right? Big time momentum reversal. So that's very interesting. What happened? Next tweet, boom. And we walked right into this high wave meaning long upper and lower shadow, doji. Beautiful doji with a long lower shadow and just a range low sweep and recapture. I actually want to go in the 4 hour, and I want to break down a little bit of what happened here. We have a very beautiful pattern here on the 4 hour. It's one of my favorite. It's a W, right? A W with a lower low. It's a double bottom where the second thrust is lower, and you get a spring or a false breakdown and recapture, right? And he had beautiful move here. Okay, so I was actually doing a Bitcoin Live report. It was funny. There's an issue with the website. I was actually doing a Bitcoin Live report on Monday, which is rare. It was kind of a follow-up report, and I basically said, "Look, folks, we're starting to break down. But if we recapture 92.5, you have a go signal, and beautiful. Look at that, beautiful returns to 92.5 already, and then local break here, 96K. We'll get into that. So we put in this beautiful long leg doji with the range low sweep and recapture. That tells you bears tried to break down and they failed. And that's a bad news for bears. That's a bad news. In classical charting, failed reversals, failed breakdowns, these are very powerful. These are very strong signals. And folks, I see the chat room messages. Thank you so much. I'll get to them in a moment. It's just me, as you know, by myself. As you can tell, if I had a moderator, I would have noticed that I had no volume in that last video, which is funny. But in any case, we had the range low sweep and recapture. Okay, I let you know, hey, folks, beautiful candle, which actually kind of reminds me, as an aside, of that weekly candle here. High wave spinning top, right? With the high wave spinning top, we had the range low breakdown and recapture. So we had that nice progression we had the nice progression in Bitcoin off of losing daily range lows and recapturing them. What's the next tweet? Strength off that doji. No, where's the next one? Here we go. Next tweet is break 96K and bears will chase. Okay, break 96K and bears will chase. Right? Why did I say that? Why did I say break 96K and bears will chase? Well, we just had a failed breakdown, okay? Bears came in here. They got stopped out. They're like, what's happening? If you have the follow-through on the breakdown, which would be this lower high break, you could see it in the 4 hour. I just talked about it here, right? If you break 96K, bears will chase. Bears are in trouble. I'm sure you read the comments, you're wrong or whatever, great. And those are fun. I get that, but there it is. I mean, it's a powerful thing to follow momentum. Break 96K, bears will chase, and boom. Strength off of the doji. See that box, break 96K, and push into right shoulder or the prior lower high on the daily. And so trying to interpret this price movement, and I put out a tweet, I didn't include it here, where I basically said, I'm viewing this price movement in what's called as an out of line or an early move in classical charting, where you can still call it a head and shoulders, doesn't really matter. But if you do that, you have your neck base, you have your right shoulder, your lower high, you break it. It came back inside the range, but it's an early break in the eventual likely direction of the trend. And so you could say, look, Cheds, why was this not? I talked about this in Bitcoin Live too. Why was this not an early move? Well, one of these two, either this or this, one of these two, folks, is with the trend. Sorry, the trend. It's up. Simple MA200. You want to always interpret price moving with the trend. Trends tend to continue. Most reversal patterns fail. Trends tend to continue. So I put out a tweet interpreting this as an early move in the eventual direction that the trend is going to break. Okay, so strength into the lower high. Anticipating a little bit of, I was anticipating a little bit of consolidation and pause there. We did have one. We had a very brief here, LTF, low time frame consolidation with a 4H MA200 throwback. What does that mean, Cheds? Cheds, a lot of terms, a lot of words. Why do you say this stuff? Are you just trying to sound fancy? Well, I try to make TA academic, right? I study TA professionally. I try to simplify it and make it simple for you. That's why, of course, you got to watch the Masterclass tutorial playlist. Here's your throwback. So here's the pause at the lower high, where anticipated. Boom. Sorry. Here's where the pause right here was anticipated, generally in this range. And then here's your throwback. Beautiful throwback to the MH200 and the prior range peak. That was your little consolidation that allowed you to continue. And some nice low time frame consolidation with a 4H MA200 throwback. What's next? Boom. This is me saying 18 hours ago. So Bitcoin at this point, we're charging up. We need above 102.754 for a weekly outside bar. I'm noting it. It's more interesting than anything because you want it with outside bars. There's a lot outside bars. There are many factors. One of them is where the candle closes. So closing near the peak of the range is good, right? It gives you more strength in the signal. But ideally, you want an outside bar after a trend. It's like a moving average cross. So, it's kind of why this candle was a muted signal here. If you noted when I talked about this candle, it's an outside bar in a sideways environment, right? So it can be a reversal candle, but you would want it like this: down, 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 outside bar, or up, 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 outside bar, sideways, whatever, outside bar. It's not as strong a signal. So it's interesting to note that we have the outside bar, but it actually, I'm just kind of doing this for fun here. It doesn't actually tell us too much, but it's fun to worth note. It's slightly more bullish signal, but you don't need that. You don't need more bullish signals. You're just price moving with the trend. Weekly MA200, daily MA200, nice price consolidation, weekly above the EMA8, holding range lows. Beautiful bull trend. So a lot of people just keep getting caught off guard for various reasons, getting bearish at support, selling support in an uptrend. And another big, big, big one, folks. People get caught off guard here. Okay, and I'm about to get to the chat in a second, folks. Give me a moment. Misunderstanding how volume works keeps so many people sidelined. I'll say it again. I've said a million times before. When the price is already trending, you don't need volume to continue. Look at this guy. I'm not trying to pick on him, but I get this a lot. This is me saying, look at this beautiful doji. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna. Hey, not good enough for me. No volume, no party. What are you talking about? You completely misunderstand how to use volume. With all due respect, when the price is already trending, you do not need volume to continue, okay? Let's go to volume basics and trading wisdom. Lack of volume is not a bad thing because a trend that is already moving does not need additional volume to continue. When you have a trend, that means there's an imbalance in supply and demand. If it's trending up, you have more buyers than sellers. Bears need volume to challenge that trend, okay? And this happens all the time. People completely misunderstand volume. And so the price continues with the trend and they say, oh, no volume, because they've been taught wrong. So many people have been taught wrong on this. And I say it all the time. I've been saying this for years. If you follow me, and my more experienced students, the folks who've been doing this for longer, understand this. You don't really need volume here to continue with the trend. You just had a beautiful range low sweep. This is a beautiful candle. This is a very big deal candle, momentum candle. High wave candle with a failed breakdown. No volume. It's a trend, it's an uptrend. You don't need volume to continue. So that guy got sidelined, completely missed the move because somebody taught him, right? Quote unquote, no volume, no party. You don't need volume all the time. You want volume in certain circumstances. And again, I lecture in this in great detail. If it's complicated, watch the Masterclass tutorial playlist. I made this for you. I have a new one coming later this year. It takes a lot of work and preparation for these. But you got to watch this to understand simple, basic things, trend analysis. That's Bitcoin. We'll do Ethereum. I'm going to go to the chat room and see how everybody's doing. Thanks for hanging in here with me. Maybe a little bit longer video than normal today. Ethereum's okay. I mean, it's been weak to Bitcoin. We know that. And that's evidenced by Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. A lot of people called bottom in this, and I was pretty stalwart, pretty out front saying no bottom yet. Assume the trend, this bounce will fail, and it did. Has failed so far. Why? Look at this 200. Controlled downtrend. You really need a bigger turnaround in Ethereum versus Bitcoin to start to call bottom. And I know a lot of people want bottom in this. They want Bitcoin dominance to top. They want this to bottom because they don't have as much Bitcoin. They're in altcoins. And I think a lot of people, their analysis, even big accounts, fail because they're speaking from their bags. They're speaking from their positions, right? And I get it pretty clean. I'm pretty good at staying objective. I don't know, you know, it takes a lot of time and practice. But look, just assume trends will continue. So Ethereum's been weak to Bitcoin. It means you'd rather be in Bitcoin. And Ethereum itself on the high time frame is a fine chart. It's a fine trend, right? Rising 200 at near range peaks and all that. But the daily chart's kind of meandering. It's chopping you around here. If I'm not in Ethereum, I'm not touching it till a range low test, or I want to see this lower high break. I want to play momentum, right? I'm not gonna pay for the market makers' kids to go to college by playing every little choppy channel. It's weak to Bitcoin. I'm not in a rush to play it. Sure, the high time frame trend is fine, but I want to either see momentum or a deeper drop. You're much better off playing Bitcoin. And there's been so many nice trades in Bitcoin lately, and I've shown you a lot of them. So let me get into the chat room. It's already 16 minutes. I usually wrap these up at 12, 13 minutes. But we get a lot of tweets I wanted to discuss, and I haven't done YouTube since Tuesday. So let me check in with the chat room, see how everybody is doing. Caleb, Martwan, Khalib, nice to see you folks. Julius, Mike, Matt, Henry. Folks, sorry about the volume earlier. Again, it's just me, no moderator. Let's see what everyone to say. Everyone is doing. You're the man. Know it's your thing. Did you mention your base case that Bitcoin is Bitcoin top? I mean, it's kind of a general spitball. First of all, you can't really predict out, I think, more than a couple days that well in Bitcoin. And you know me, I'm really good 48 hours, maybe a couple days out. But after that, it gets a little iffy. And I generally just took, you know, for my measured move on log is about, you know, the 250 to 280K. I took the height of consolidation, and I just estimated out based on the basically the time it took, like in this consolidation range before the breakout. And I just extended that. So it's kind of just a very rough guess. It's not, you know, it's not like super. It's just nobody knows anything, honestly, more than a couple days out. So there's some great traders and people. This is my best guess, and my best guess ain't worth much at this point because it's so far out, right? Don't put any faith in what anyone says about 2026. It's literally January 2025. You should be trading the 4-hour daily chart, understanding the weekly trend, and just seeing if support holds or not, right? We can project out. Yes, longer time frame. It very much looks like it's going to be in the 200s. Just based on the consolidation, the slope of the 200, the height of this range, and the time it's spent in here. But that's all we got, and it's not that great. So projections are kind of useless. I don't really use price targets that much. Don't put too much faith in that. That's my best guess, and that will change with new information. Okay. Mohammed, just found you truly impressed. What's up, brother, man? If you were to become a subscriber, I don't have subscriber on Twitter. That's a mistake. I've asked. Look, subs. 0 tweets. There are no subscriber tweets. Do not sign up. Okay. I've asked Twitter to remove it. Like I applied for it years ago I was just seeing what it was, and it took them 2 years and they activated. And I'm like, now I can't deactivate it. I'm asking them to deactivate it. Do not sign up for my sub. I don't have it. Thanks for asking. Most of what I do is free. Just check me out here. Check me out, check out all my YouTube stuff. If you want like something serious, Bitcoin Live. This is twice a week. Full market analysis, like we do not miss. That's the best team in the world that studies crypto. Cheds, good to see you. Jose, what's your top price prediction tube? There's very little value in that. Predictions are pretty much useless. They are pretty much useless. They're not even worth the paper they're written on. Follow the trend. Take advantage of a price movement against the trend. Okay. Couple more questions and we'll wrap it up. I'll do another stream tomorrow. This will be a little bit longer than normal. Matt says, Cheds, Ethereum hates us. Yeah, it's just weak compared to Bitcoin. And I think that a lot of people are unhappy with that. Let's see. Here's a good question. Cheds, is XRP cooling off? By Jimmy. And what time frame is MACD most important? I mean, that's an interesting question. So I don't use MACD. It's kind of, I'm not a fan of it. It's a little bit too slow for me. What about oscillators? RSI, bounded oscillator. What about OBV? I'm generally barely ever use these. You know why? And even MACD, if you do it long enough and you study the price, you can see the oscillators in the price. Just looking at this, you can see the RSI and OBV. You don't need these things. These are things that are already in the price, and the mistakes people make is trading based on the oscillator, right? Every trade idea needs to come from the price, not the oscillator. If you're going to use MACD, the rule is the longer the time frame, the stronger signal. So like which time frame should you use MACD on? I don't know, maybe weekly, monthly. Like if I would say don't use it, but if you're gonna I would say don't use it, but if you're going to use it, use like a longer time frame as possible, number one. Number two, you should never generate a trade idea from the MACD just because like something's crossing, the slow versus the fast is crossing. You can use oscillators to confirm a trade idea that originates from the price. Again, I go over this in great detail in the Masterclass webinar series. Is XRP cooling off? I mean, does it look like it is? I mean, not really. What is going on here? What is this nonsense? These spam callers are coming after me like crazy. Is it cooling off? This is a beautiful breakout. I mean, give it time. Like, what do people want? Like, want to go to like $5 today? You need to consolidate. Is it cooling off? I mean, not really. This is clean. 4H, nice little bull pennant. 4H, EMA 8 looks good so far. So I think people need to chill out a little bit. Understand trends need to consolidate. Market looks really good. There's a lot of nice altcoins. I could go on for a half an hour, but I like to keep these updates short. Partly out of respect to Bitcoin Live, where I do the full market analysis. But we had a nice little report today. I walked you through how people were panicking at daily range lows, how even a bear could have quickly realized they were making a mistake, could have gotten long at 92.5, could have gotten long at 96K, could have got long in that recent throwback. Bears should not be sidelined here. It's a beautiful trend. We should not be surprised when trends continue. You don't need volume to continue with the trend. That is a really, really, really important thing. This is part of the Quick Market Update series here on my YouTube at Cheds Trading. I teach professional technical analysis, Japanese candlestick theory, and classical charting. Most of what I do is free. I've published 3 books. 4th book is coming soon. Well, soon, 6 months. It's coming this year. Check out Bitcoin Live. Twice a week, I do a full market report with the best team in the world that studies crypto. I've been doing it for 6 years. I'm super proud of that. Most of what I do is free. I do not have a subscription. Don't sign up for that. On Twitter, find me on Twitter at Big Cheds. And, most importantly, heartfelt thank you. Thank you for spending some of your precious time with me here today. I'm going to do another YouTube tomorrow, late morning. If I missed your message, I apologize. It's just, it's just me in the chat room. I'm doing this one-man show. I'll take a look at your messages after the video. Reply with a comment. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, how you found the channel, suggestions, all that great stuff. Please subscribe. I'm trying to run this channel up to 100K on YouTube. It's going to take me a couple of years, but I'm going to do it. So thank you for being here, and have an awesome Friday. And let's enjoy this ride together, folks. Thank you so much. Big Cheds out. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Big Cheds out.